What's up? What's good? Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Sunday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. Hope each and every one of you are doing great. And I hope you're having a great long weekend. It's May 24. I hope you're enjoying it. I don't figure there's probably going to be a ton of people that come to the live because it's such a busy long weekend. But for those who do, let's chop it up. We speak about prison. We speak about addiction. We speak about life. Uh, if you could please hit that like button, subscribe button, and that bell notification button. You know the deal. Diane, what's up? Hugh, what's up? Brian, what's up? John, what's up? The Gaming Primate, what's up? Blake, how are you? Fub, what's up? I'm good, man. I'm chilling. CC, what's up? I'm chilling. Just enjoying the beautiful weather. Heather Richardson, what's up? Mr. Night Owl, how are you? I'm good, man. I'm really good. You know, I blew my back out like a week ago. Maybe a week and a half ago, and I was down and out. Like few days, I could barely even walk. It was rough, but aside from that, I've been good. Just working a lot. John John Ahmed. So what if you enter jail as a weak? It's probably worse, man. To be honest, prison people ain't really gonna mess with you typically for no reason. So no, I haven't, Diane. I'm terrified of it too. But in provincial that can kind of happen. You can get bullied, especially if you look vulnerable. People may want your food, who knows, right? So it just depends where you are, where you're doing your time too. That also matters. Living the seat of my pants. I drive. Blake, drive a truck. Nick Matcham, what's up, my brother? It's good to see you. Hold on a sec. Brian, man, thank you for the 5-piece. I appreciate you. Shout out to you, man. So how does the food punk off work inside? It just depends. If there's a lot of guys that will let people take their food, and that's just a fact. It will definitely toughen you up. That is a fact. I'm gonna fly. I'm not refusing to fly, but I don't like the idea of it. I haven't flown since I was like a young teenager. I've flown a few times, but it scares me. To be honest, I don't like the idea of it. Will people jump you for drugs? If you have drugs and people don't know or respect you and they see you as a target, that is possible. Yeah, that could possibly happen. You need to be super smart if you're going in with anything. Tonka's good, man. Thank you, Nick. He's good, brother. I nursed him back to life. Nah, I'm just driving a dually, bro. I'm working on that. I'm going to get my AZ. I'm just not sure when. Lloyd Daly, hey, man, how you doing? I finally moved out of Ontario after 52 years. I moved to Vancouver, British Columbia. Didn't know there's a lot of homelessness on the West Coast. Oh, tons, man. Go downtown East Hastings. It's really bad down there. If you're in the building, go up, hit that like button. 23 to 4. Come on, Doc. Hit that like. What jail you think you had the most fights and problems in? Well, I would say Lindsay for sure. But then I would say probably Fembrook. I got in a few beefs when I first started in Tayak, but once you kind of build a reputation, you don't need to beef a lot. And like I grew up with a lot of guys in the city. So I never had to do a ton of fighting when I was in the city. I did the most of my fighting really. The last bit I was on, I had the most fights, and that was just because I was stressed. I hated my life. I was angry, so I was taking it out on people, And when I came in, I wasn't healthy. I wasn't my typical self. And I felt like I had to kind of reestablish myself, Yeah, there's a lot of homelessness in Toronto for sure. Yeah, he's feeling better, Nick, man. Thanks for asking. No, they'll demand it from you, John. They're not just probably going to snatch it from you. That might happen. It might get snatched right out of your tray from the cleaner. That also may happen. Something may come up. You might not ever see it. You might not even know guys got it. That could happen. But chances are, if you're like a decent guy, people aren't going to typically just going to punk you like that because, there's consequences to things like that. Just a guest. What's up? Shout out to Peterborough. Lloyd Daly, man. What's up? Addiction is massive out there, which is the whole reason with this whole legalization or decriminalization where they're actually like providing safe drugs. And it's a really smart and good idea, At least if you want to save lives. Did you ever have a search warrant executed at your crib? So not at my crib specifically, but at other cribs. Yes. John Patrick Maslick Jr. I didn't go a day without it. I did a year only in Edmonton. Had to stand my ground because of your size. Yeah, it happens, Sometimes you could just land in a bad situation. It doesn't even matter who you are, You could land on a block where you're a totally normal dude and the whole block is homeboys and they're kind of just trying to tax everybody. And you're in that situation where you have to start riding for your shit. It happens, man. About to do 1 to 2 year in Lindsay, just waiting for sentencing. I've never been involved with gangs or violent, just trafficking. I stay to myself. Any advice? Just keep to yourself, bro. Don't get involved in nothing. Be yourself, but don't take no punk offs at the same time. You have to stand up for yourself on some level. Milo, what's up? Newborn Assassin, what's up, my brother? Mitch, what's up, my brother? Matt, bro, hope you're having a good May 2-4. Yeah, it's all right. Chilling out, not doing too much. Saw my bro. That was nice. Went out for dinner with him last night, so that was cool. Yeah, I get it, John, but that's just the way it is. You got to understand that a lot of those guys in there are hungry and have been there for a long time, and that don't make it right. But it's just kind of the environment you're going into. But that doesn't necessarily mean for sure it's going to happen. You could land somewhere that's totally chill and that shit don't happen. Matt, what do you think of the migrants that are going up to Canada from the U.S. via Roxham Road? All the influx of illegal coming to the U.S. Some are being shipped up to Canada. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it, because you can't stop it anyways. How long have you been sober and how did you do it? I am not sober. I am in harm reduction recovery. I used to consider myself sober. I no longer consider myself sober because I'll drink beer, I'll smoke weed. I just don't do any hard drugs. But I'm on Suboxone, but I don't party. I just don't party, bro. I don't go out. I don't support myself with people that do that shit. No, I haven't really. Elite Agent, I haven't really been on it, bro. So I'll be checking it at some point, though. Tell him just keep trying, man. He knows how to holler on me at my YouTube, too. He knows my channel. Super gel suck better at home. Wait, super gel suck better than home gel. They all suck. But you're right. Did you do time in Quebec jail? No, never. I messaged you on IG. If you're ever interested, I'll share some crazy stories. Yeah, this is like I say it all the time. I fucking hate social media. I just do. So, Hugh, man, thank you for the 10-piece. I appreciate that. How long did it take to adjust to life in prison and the routine? Weeks, months? Just curious. You kind of have to adjust right away, man. You don't really have time to like sit around and pout. I was actually telling somebody today, like, when you are the first day you get bite, that is like one of the most difficult days because you have to come to grip with everything like this, right? And that's just kind of how it goes, you know. You just kind of have to accept it because there's nothing you can really do about it, you know. Does Lindsay have pods for sentencing people? Yes. What's the solution to bullying? I'm not sure there is one inside, buddy, to be honest. You know, maybe you could give everybody a lot and hope that because you're giving them an opportunity to have more, they won't act out. And, you know, that's definitely the case. You see it in the federal system. The problem is they're not going to do that in provincial. Oh, he's on. Okay. Well, I'll check my IG soon, bro. So if he messaged on there, I'll check it. What? I feel so bad. Come on. Where's he at? All right. Okay, I'll keep that in mind, bro. The thing is, I'm not giving my number on here. You know what I mean? I'd give it to him, but I'm not giving it over YouTube. Bullying determine who gets punked off and that actually builds character. People don't like hearing that. Yeah, that is true, you know. And the thing is, on the inside, they don't want a bunch of weirdos around, you know, because there's stuff going on. So it's kind of a way of weeding out the guys that they think could possibly snitch. EMDC is the worst. What? For what? Hey Matt, have you seen anyone done time in jail for animal abuse? That is funny. Yeah, I have. VLA. I don't know what that means. But if you're trying to say violence, no way. It's the worst for guard abuse on inmate right now. That's what it's the worst for. But there's no provincial that talks to the South. There just isn't. If you're on the indirect side, like the non, good behavior side, it's crazy over there. Same as in the East or in the Hearst on certain blocks. I respect EMDC and a lot of guys from London. I'm not trying to say it's soft. I don't think it is at all. But I think what makes EMDC more treacherous is the fact that you could lose your life to the officers. Oh, okay. Sorry, brother. Hello, Matt. Thanks for finding the time for your audience and subscribers this long weekend. Oh, that's no problem. I enjoy it, man. I like talking to the guys on my channel and the gals on my channel. You know? But yeah, Jonathan, I did. I knew a dude that was in on a strap and some dope. And when they went through his phone, he had a bunch of pictures of animal abuse. And he had to do a whole bunch of programming, like a shit ton of programming. Also, no parole, you know? Hello, Matt. Thanks for finding. And this is the thing, like when you meet people, you don't know these things. These things you end up finding out these things when you're locked with people. So it's not like you're trying to be friends with somebody who abuses animals, because I'm really not. But when you're already friends with somebody and then you find out that you might have killed like a goose, crazy shit. I don't get that shit. Unless I'm it and actually gonna use it and use the resource for good to feed a family or whatever you got to do, survival. I can respect that, but just for the fun of killing it, I'm not into that shit. It's weirdo shit to me. I don't think there's necessarily less inmates, but I definitely think that there's less people being arrested, if that makes sense. So I don't think it's that people are doing less crime or breaking the law less. I just think that the government has become much more liberal, and especially now that there's no weed charges. Rakeem, thanks, man. I will try. My buddy's in EMDC. ABD says the guard will take you there. There's no cameras and beat the hell out of you. Yeah, it's like the old West detention was like that. You know, you could not talk to those guards any way disrespectful. In any way. And it didn't matter who you were, bro. I'm telling you, if you told those guards off in any way, you're going to get smashed. That's the West detention. Bam Bam, RoboCop, those guys were savages for guards. And RoboCop got knocked out cold, and he's a big motherfucker. He's one of those dudes whose blue shirt is like tight, got his boots pulled up over his pants like he's in the military. You know, you might as well have the cigarette back, big mustache, just a prick. Sorry, Brian, I'm not trying to ignore you, bud, but there's a lot of stuff coming at me, so. My boy gets out in June. He did 10 years. Would you put him on your channel? Yeah, definitely. As long as he's got a good story to tell and his charges are good, there's no worries, yeah. It helps there's no weed charges, but this whole catch and release program does need to be readdressed. Don't get me wrong. So I do think that you can benefit from offering bail reform where people will actually get opportunity, but it is facts that there is a subset of the criminal population. It doesn't matter, right? Like, they're going to fuck it up, right? They don't care. They're not going to respect nothing. It just is what it is. I was one of those people, you know. Somebody could have paid bail for me. I wouldn't have gave a fuck. I would have been out. And you're just going to have to deal with those people, or you got to have strict laws all around. And maybe not any, what's it called? Leniency at all. ESC, me? I smoked a spliff just before, yeah. Northern Pike, what's up, my brother? Jeannie Kolinko, you betcha. That's so Canadian. How will a guy from Quebec be welcomed in an Ontario prison? Will he be okay? I would say most likely. You know, it would depend on why he's there. Did he get shipped in the middle of his bit? Does he have family? Is there a reason for him to be here? Or does he just show up randomly like a lot of guys do? Where it looks bad on them. It looks like they're cracking out of a joint. I don't know. It depends, you know. It really depends. Craziest fight I've ever seen. Well, I'm seeing somebody be killed with hands, and then seeing a dead guy there, you know, I would definitely say that's probably the most serious, despite the fact that I didn't actually see the violence because I didn't want to see it. I've seen a lot of good fights, like seriously. Good 1-to-1 toe-to-toes. I've seen 2-on-2s. I've seen 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-on-1s. I've seen when 3, 4 guys go after a guy and that guy does good in return, you know, doesn't get banged out. Enough shankins in the Ville. The beatdown M was in the dawn. If you're in the building, go up top, hit that like button. I appreciate it. It helps the channel, helps me. So come on, go do that out. James S., what's good, bro? Did you hear about the inmate that escaped from Collins Bay recently but got caught eventually? No, I never saw that. Now, did he escape from the max, the medium, or the minimum? Because that would be a big difference. Okay, CC, I'll check that out. If I can find information on that, I'll do a video about it for sure. The thing about Joyceville, it's just like Reception was, right? You got all these different joints coming together in one place. And a lot of the time, you have guys that bump into each other that haven't seen each other in a long time, but there's like a lot of hostility there or a lot of beef, and things get out of hand. A lot of the time, people ain't really trying to kill guys, but sometimes they are too. So I heard about that was a minimum. He walked off. Yeah, that's regular. Guys walk off the minimums regular. When was the last time the last time I got into a fight was I got in 7 fights in my last bit. So I haven't gotten any fights home. I'm not running around out here trying to fight people. I'm trying to move on with my life and progress. So, I've been in lots of fights in my life, bro. I'm not the best fighter in the world. I'm not the worst fighter in the world. I'm just a guy who can fight, I guess, a little bit. But I guess when you've been in a lot of fights, you learn a little bit, Yeah, you always have to go through reception. Matt, due to your convictions, are you limited to certain jobs or even voting in elections? I asked. No, in Canada, you can vote. But you're definitely limited. Like, you're not going to be bonded. So, like working in a bank or, in a money mart or anything like that, like a financial institution's pretty much, probably not going to happen. And, any job where you're going to be handling any large amounts of money, this channel is called The New Matt Clark. It used to be. That's what it started as. But it's been a journey, man, this channel. Seriously. It's been, what, 3 years now? And subscribers have come and subscribers have gone, and I've had amazing conversations with people. Trolled people, had people troll me. It's fun, man. I actually really enjoy the YouTube aspect of social media. I just hate the rest of it. Yeah, right now the only reception is at Joyceville, unless you're Max. Then you go to Millhaven. Having ADD is not ADHD is not easy. Trying new things makes me feel so vulnerable. I also have ADHD. I have a hard time like sitting and focusing on one thing for a long time unless I am like 100% into it, and I'm also fidgety. And that's just me. What's Millhaven like? Asking for a friend. Well, Millhaven is not the same as it used to be. J Unit is no longer there, which was the most serious max in the country. That has now moved over to Collins Bay, which I would say the most serious max would now either be Stony or Edmonton. In terms of violence, Collins Bay is still serious, but it's a lot quieter because they have more, It's not like Millhaven where they didn't have fuck all, right? There's more opportunity for them to move down. And, the reality is when guys are presented with opportunities to kind of live better, maybe cook your own food and just have little perks, they behave better. It's astonishing. When you don't treat people like animals, they don't act like animals. It's crazy. Yeah, but just before COVID. Yeah. In your opinion, what are the top 3 worst provincials? In my opinion, I'd say hands down, the South, the Hearst, and the East, I'd say are the 3 worst. And I'm not only saying for violence. I'd say the 2 Toronto jails definitely for violence. They're more violent than anywhere else. But I'd say the Hearst for just being shitty. Lindsay and Penetang, they're not horrible time if you're from there. The Hearst is horrible time no matter where you're from. So, yeah, I do like to cook. I've never personally been to the South, Buckley. It opened up after I was already basically done. My kid is at the Ville. He was in medium a week, beat a Ray Pound in his cell, and has been in max since. That happens, That's the crazy thing about the integrated system is a lot of the guys that are in the federal system are victims of that kind of stuff, sexual abuse, physical abuse from their parents, whatever it is, they're traumatized from that stuff. So when guys come into the room and then they find out this stuff, it's like an opportunity for them to release that pent-up anger and frustration without feeling guilty about it. So I totally understand. I've smacked them myself. So I'd say Maplehurst because of the lockdowns and the harshness of the guards. I guess you could put EMDC because of the harshness of the guards and the conditions, but for violence, it's definitely Toronto. Yeah, I work outside a little bit, so I'm getting tanned. Ever meet any high-profile inmates? I met some guys. I don't mention names on my channel, but I've definitely done time. I did time with Ray Fernandez. He was a mob guy. He's dead, so I'll mention his name on the channel. But I've done time with a lot of Toronto rappers, mob guys, biker guys, but like not celebrities, because I was always typically in like a worse off jail, right? And when I was in Fembrook, there was none there at that time. So. Yeah, I work a lot. Yeah. West was worst guards for sure. Dawn was best time if you were good in the dawn. It could be the worst time if you weren't. Yeah, R.I.P. Ray. They did do him dirty. No, never did time a top 5. No. Bernardo's in super, super duper PC, so you'll never see him, I was in transition unit, TD unit, when in Kingston Penitentiary when it was there back in the day. And you could see his shadow walking sometimes in the yard, but fuck that guy. Oh, Turk, what up, man? Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you, man. I hope you're doing good, bro. I hope the fam's good. Everybody's good. Does being in jail with crazy gang members make you feel scared or anxious due to the bad energy? Nah. When you spend as much time in prison as I did, you become more comfortable in there and around those people, They become your friends and the people you basically grow with, And you don't see them as any different as yourself. So. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. You already know, Turk, man. Shout out for watching my shit, bro. I appreciate that. Do you still have strong feelings against guards, or have your feelings changed over the years? Honestly, I don't hate guards. I don't have any feeling whatsoever for them, hate or like. I know they're just doing their jobs. I'm smart enough to understand that. But like there's a game that you play, and once you sign up for it, there's a line you can't cross. And that just is what it is. It doesn't mean I hate them. Doesn't mean I wish harm on them. There are a lot of guys that feel that way, but you also got to keep in mind there's a lot of really bad feds, man. Like really bad. Just as bad as the guys that are locked up, you know, and they get a free pass. Did you play chess? I play cards. I can play bridge. I can play bid whist. I can play spades, any of that shit. See, cops is different than guards, though. I don't like cops either. You know, I've been victimized by cops. I was doing bad shit and probably deserved it, but they still broke their rules. So fuck them. I don't gotta like them. Did the mobsters control the guards? Well, I know Ray did. He definitely did. You know, when I was doing time with him, he was still a big guy. Like, he still had his name. He looked like just a big jacked, like, he looked like he should be wearing a $5,000 suit at all times. Just like the prettiest boy of old men, just jacked. Stacks of protein bars and shit you can't even get. You know, that's how these guys are living. If you have money, man. I have more respect for guards than cops also, but they all do bad shit, you know. And at the end of the day, it's a game, and when you sign up, you're on one side. That just is what it is, you know. It's what you signed up for. So I had a cop steal a half-o from me when I was a kid and let me go. I wasn't even doing nothing. See? That's some corrupt shit. I hate that shit. I'm on here like a couple more minutes, guys. You guys already know. I hate that shit, you know? And I remember when I was young running from feds for like a half quarter. You know, dumb shit. Just dumb shit, you know? I'm telling you, these young guys don't know how easy they have it nowadays. I'm telling you. Eh? You already know Northern Pike, man. Have a good night and a good long weekend, my brother. They're from the countryside if the joint's in the country. If it's in the city, they're probably from the city, you know? Money be abusing their power. Talk about tyranny. Tyranny. Yeah, that's a fact. There's always tyranny, you know? Anytime there's money to be made, there's tyranny. Matt, do you watch any shows or on any of the streaming services? No. What kind of shows? Like, I watched Yellowstone. I did watch that. I like that. I watched what's it called? BMF. I watched that. What else have I watched recently? Most Treacherous in Ontario. Right now, you would have to say Collins Bay Max or Millhaven. One of those two. Because they're max, you know. And if it's jail, it would be the South, for sure. I was only at the Hearst for a short time, but I was fine when I was there, you know. But I got shipped from the West Detention with a group of dudes that we were all cool. So we weren't walking in there like dolo and not really knowing nothing. And at that time, I was in the mix of doing all my time. So I knew everybody, you know. You too, James. Enjoy the rest of your May 2 4. I'm off here in like 20 seconds. Watch Mayor of Kingstown. Okay, I will. I never saw the race riot. The race riot happened right after I left and just before I came back. I've watched some Trailer Park Boys for sure. Is black versus white still a thing? It can be. You know? What's it called? Yes, you can wear contacts or glasses. The film parts of Old Kingston. What's the series called that you were talking about? Mayor of Kingstown? If you stare at people, you'll be called a rubbernecker and you might get deaf us. What's the most random thing you see make a lot of money inside? People making brownies or butter tarts. At that race issue isn't natives versus whites. Natives versus whites, there's always race issues in jail, man. Always. You know, it just depends on, is it a time when it's heightened or is it a time when it's chill? But it's just kind of the way it is, you know. But I'm out of here, you guys. You guys already know it's great talking to you guys. Hit that like button before you get out of here if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. You know what we speak on. We speak about anything, really. We just chat, man. We have a good community. And I love y'all. So you guys already know. Have an amazing rest of May 2-4. Peace.